Trusting the universe is not about surrendering in weakness, but about stepping into strength. Life often feels unpredictable, doors close, paths twist, and sometimes we wonder if we're lost. But every moment, even the most uncertain, is a hidden invitation guiding us toward growth. The real journey begins when you stop forcing outcomes and start flowing with life. Imagine the universe as a river. It always moves forward, and when you align yourself with its current, you are carried toward the experiences meant for you. Resistance only creates struggle, but trust allows clarity, peace, and alignment with your true purpose. There is a timing to everything. Just because your moment hasn't arrived yet doesn't mean it never will. Patience is a form of power. By waiting and trusting, you give life the space to unfold exactly as it should. And when it finally is your turn, the universe doesn't whisper. It shows up boldly, placing opportunities in your path, people in your life, and lessons in your heart. That is where destiny begins, not when you control, but when you trust. Trust is not weakness, it's aligning with a greater flow of life. Too often we are conditioned to believe that trust means giving up control, that it is a sign of passivity, or that relying on something beyond ourselves is an act of fragility. In reality, trust is one of the strongest acts of courage a human being can demonstrate. It is not about standing still in fear, but about walking forward with the quiet confidence that even though you cannot see the full picture, you are still exactly where you are meant to be. When you trust the universe, you are not surrendering your power. You are stepping into a power much greater than your own limited perspective. Life is constantly unfolding in ways we cannot predict. You may have experienced moments where things seemed to fall apart, plans didn't work out, relationships ended, opportunities slipped through your fingers. In those moments, it is easy to believe that you are unlucky, forgotten, or left behind. But what if those setbacks were not obstacles at all, but necessary turns in the road? What if trust means recognizing that even the things that don't make sense right now are shaping you into the person you are meant to become? That is not weakness. That is profound strength. To stand in uncertainty and still believe that life is carrying you towards something greater requires a kind of inner resilience that control can never give you. When we try to control everything, we live in constant tension. Our minds race with what ifs, our hearts cling to specific outcomes, and our energy becomes trapped in worry. Control is an illusion. No matter how much we plan, there will always be things we cannot predict. The beauty of trust is that it releases that tension. It allows you to breathe. It gives you permission to let life move as it must, without you needing to grip so tightly. That release is not a loss of strength, it is a reclamation of freedom. Trust means choosing peace over fear, flow over resistance, and openness over rigidity. Think about nature. A tree does not resist the wind, it bends with it, and in doing so, it survives storms that would break something rigid. A river does not fight against the rocks in its path. It flows around them, carving new ways forward with persistence and grace. This is alignment, this is strength. When you trust the universe, you become like the tree and the river. You do not shatter under life's storms, nor do you stop when obstacles arise. Instead, you adapt, flow, and continue your journey. Weakness would be clinging desperately to what cannot be controlled. Strength is releasing, adapting, and moving forward with faith. The universe has a way of bringing you exactly what you need, often in ways you do not expect. You may not always receive what you want when you want it, but you will receive what you need when it is time. Trust is the bridge between your present self and the future that is waiting for you. Without trust, you hesitate at every step, constantly second-guessing, feeling that you are making mistakes. With trust, you move forward, knowing that even your missteps are part of the greater dance. Every wrong turn, every delay, every challenge becomes part of the alignment. Nothing is wasted because everything has meaning. This is where trust becomes powerful. It shifts your perspective. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You begin asking, what is this teaching me? Instead of resisting pain, you begin seeing it as growth. Instead of fearing uncertainty, you begin embracing it as possibility. This shift is not weakness, it is empowerment. It transforms you from a victim of life's circumstances into a co-creator with the universe. You stop clinging to what you think should happen, and you open yourself to what is meant to happen. That openness is where real transformation occurs. There is a strength in believing when there is no evidence yet. It is easy to trust when everything is going your way, when doors are opening and life feels abundant. The true test of trust, however, comes when the path is dark, when nothing makes sense, when every step feels heavy. That is when most people give up. But those who hold on to trust in those moments discover their real power. They discover that faith is not about certainty, but about willingness to move without it. They discover that the flow of life carries them even when their vision is clouded. That is not weakness, that is courage on the deepest level. The universe is always in motion, always arranging, always guiding. Trusting that flow does not mean you sit back and do nothing. It means you take action from a place of alignment, not desperation. It means you pursue your dreams without forcing, without clinging, without trying to manipulate every outcome. You plant seeds, you water them, and you trust that in time they will bloom. You don't dig up the soil every day to check if the roots are growing. You trust the process. That patience is not passivity. It is strength born of faith. So much of our suffering comes from the belief that we must carry life entirely on our own shoulders. But trust is the reminder that we are part of something larger. The stars, the tides, the seasons, everything in this universe has order and rhythm. Why would your life be any different? Why would your journey not also be woven with meaning? Trust aligns you with that rhythm. It allows you to dance with life rather than fight against it. And that dance is where you find joy, peace, and freedom. In truth, weakness is living in fear. Weakness is believing that if you are not in control, everything will fall apart. Strength is knowing that even if you stumble, even if things don't go as planned, the universe is still moving you forward. Trust is standing in the unknown with open hands instead of clenched fists. Trust is saying, I may not know how, but I know I am being guided. Trust is not the absence of action. It is action infused with faith, courage, and flow. And when you live in that trust, you discover a strength far greater than control could ever give you, the strength of alignment with the infinite. Every closed door is redirection, not rejection. So many of us carry the pain of hearing no, of watching opportunities slip away, of feeling like life has pushed us out of the very places we were trying so hard to enter. It hurts when doors shut in front of us, whether it's the job we didn't get, the relationship that ended, the dream that seemed to collapse before our eyes. The immediate reaction is often disappointment, shame, or even anger. We begin to ask ourselves if we were not good enough, if we made the wrong move, or if we were somehow being punished. But what if those closed doors were not punishments at all? What if they were the universe's way of gently, or sometimes forcefully, guiding us away from something that was not meant for us and towards something that was? What if rejection is simply redirection disguised as disappointment? Think back on moments in your life when things did not go as planned. At the time, they may have felt devastating. Perhaps you felt like the ground was pulled out from under you. Yet when you look back now, you may notice that those very moments led you somewhere else, somewhere you never would have reached had the original door stayed open. Life has a mysterious way of weaving together experiences, and often what seems like a detour ends up being the most direct path to where you are meant to go. Every closed door is a signpost pointing you toward another direction, one you may not yet understand, but one that carries deeper alignment with your soul's purpose. The danger of seeing rejection as failure is that it keeps you stuck in resentment. When you stare at the door that has closed, you miss the window that has quietly opened elsewhere. When you cling to what is no longer available, you blind yourself to the possibilities unfolding around you. The universe never takes without giving. A door may shut, but only because the hallway it belongs to leads nowhere. Trust that another door will open, one that leads you exactly where you are supposed to be. That shift in perspective transforms rejection from something that defeats you into something that empowers you, claws to protect you. They save you from situations that might have drained you, opportunities that might have limited you, people who might not have valued you. Sometimes the very things we beg for are the things that would have hurt us most had we received them. The relationship you thought you wanted might have left you broken. The job you prayed for might have trapped you in misery. The opportunity you thought was perfect might have kept you small. Life knows what you cannot always see, and in its wisdom it blocks paths that are not aligned with your highest good. What feels like loss in the moment is often protection in disguise. It takes courage to trust that redirection is happening even when you don't understand it. It takes strength to believe that you are being guided when all you feel is disappointment. But the truth is that every no, every rejection, every shut door is a stepping stone. You are not being denied, you are being guided. The universe is not saying you are not enough. It is saying there is something better waiting for you. The timing, the place, the opportunity, everything will align when it is meant to. but only if you are willing to keep moving forward instead of staying stuck at the door that has already closed. We often confuse rejection with finality. We think that if one path does not work out, our journey is over. But a closed door is never the end. It is an invitation to explore a different direction. It is a reminder that your life is not defined by a single opportunity, a single person, or a single outcome. Your life is expansive, filled with countless possibilities. Sometimes the only way to discover those possibilities is for life to close the door you would never have had the courage to close on your own. In that sense, rejection becomes a gift. It forces you to stretch, to grow, to seek beyond what is comfortable, and to find the strength to trust in a new way forward. When you look at life from this perspective, every closed door becomes a teacher. It teaches patience by reminding you that timing matters. It teaches resilience by showing you that you can survive disappointment. It teaches faith by encouraging you to trust in what you cannot yet see. And most of all, it teaches direction by steering you towards something more aligned, something more meaningful, something more yours. Without rejection, many of us would settle for less than we deserve. Without closed doors, we would stop searching for the ones that truly open to our destiny. Imagine if every rejection you face was actually the universe whispering, not here, not this, not yet. Imagine if instead of seeing no as a dead end, you saw it as a signpost pointing you toward where your energy is truly needed. How much lighter would you feel? How much freer would you become? Instead of carrying the weight of disappointment, you would walk forward with curiosity, asking, if not this, then what? That curiosity keeps you moving, keeps you open, keeps you aligned. There is a quiet power in trusting that your path is unfolding exactly as it should, even when it looks different than you expected. Closed doors will come, they are inevitable. But each time one shut, you are invited to remember that it is not rejection of you, it is your direction for you. The universe is far too wise to waste your time, far too loving to abandon your journey, and far too intentional to let you settle for less than what is meant for you. If the door closed, it is because there is another one waiting, one that leads not to rejection, but to the fulfillment of everything you have been preparing for. Timing matters. Patience opens the right opportunities. Life has its own rhythm, its own seasons, its own flow that cannot be forced or rushed. No matter how badly we may want it to bend to our will, we live in a world that glorifies speed, where instant results are celebrated and waiting is seen as a weakness. Yet the deeper truth is that everything meaningful takes time to grow, and patience is not about doing nothing. It is about trusting that what is meant for you will come when it is ready, and when you are ready. To demand something before its season is to pluck the fruit before it ripens. It will not nourish you the way it could have if you had simply waited. When we lack patience, we often force doors to open before they are meant to. We chase opportunities that are not aligned. We hold on to relationships that cannot serve us. We grab at quick solutions that crumble just as fast as they appear. Impatience is a kind of fear. The fear that what we desire may never come. The fear that we will be left behind if we do not make it happen now. The fear that we are not enough unless we have it immediately. But patience is a form of strength. It is the ability to wait with faith, to move with trust, to act with timing rather than desperation. Patience is not passive, it is deeply active because it requires discipline, resilience, and the courage to believe in unseen outcomes. Think about nature. The seed planted in the soil does not become a tree overnight. The earth must nurture it, the rain must feed it, the sun must shine upon it, and time must shape it before it can grow tall and strong. If you dig up the soil every day to check if it is growing, you do not help the process, you only disturb it. The same is true with your dreams. The universe often plants seeds in your heart, visions, desires, callings. But those seeds take time to grow. They cannot be rushed, no matter how much you want to see results right away. Your role is to nurture them with effort, faith, and patience, and to trust that when the timing is right, they will blossom into reality. The beauty of patience is that it aligns you with divine timing. There is a reason why certain things happen when they do. If you look back at your life, you may notice that opportunities you once longed for only appeared later, after you had grown into the version of yourself who could handle them. The job you thought you wanted years ago might not have suited you then, but today, with more wisdom, skill, and experience, a better one finds its way to you. The relationship that didn't work out when you were younger may have broken your heart, but it cleared space for a deeper love to arrive when you were ready to receive it. Timing matters because preparation matters. Life will not hand you something you are not ready to carry. Patience is what allows you to be shaped into the person who can fully embrace the opportunities waiting for you. The challenge is that waiting often feels uncomfortable. We live in a culture of immediacy where waiting is seen as a loss of control, but in truth, waiting is part of the journey. Waiting teaches you resilience. Waiting teaches you faith. Waiting prepares you in ways that instant gratification never could. In waiting, you learn who you are without the outcome. You learn to build character, to grow stronger, to rely on yourself, and to trust in something greater than yourself. These lessons are not wasted. They are the very foundation of what will sustain you when the opportunity finally arrives. Many people give up in the waiting season because they confuse silence with absence. They believe that if nothing is happening, then nothing is working. But silence is not absence. Stillness is not abandonment. The universe is always moving, always arranging, always aligning behind the scenes. Just because you cannot see the roots growing does not mean the tree is not forming. Patience is the faith that even in the unseen, progress is happening. It is the choice to believe that life is moving in your favor, even if the evidence has not yet appeared. Opportunities that come before their time can often be more damaging than helpful. Imagine being handed the greatest responsibility of your life before you were ready. You might collapse under the weight of it. Imagine entering into a relationship before you had healed the parts of yourself that needed attention. You might sabotage what could have been beautiful. Imagine stepping into your dream role before you had the skills to sustain it. You might lose it just as quickly as you gained it. This is why patience is so vital. It ensures that when the door opens, you can step through it not only with excitement, but with the strength and maturity to thrive inside it. Patience also protects you from settling. When you are impatient, you are tempted to grab whatever comes first, even if it does not align with your true worth. You accept relationships that do not value you, jobs that do not fulfill you, opportunities that do not reflect your calling, all because you are afraid of waiting. But when you practice patience, you raise your standards. You trust that the right things will come in time, and you no longer waste energy on the wrong things. This patience is a shield against mediocrity, a safeguard that keeps you aligned with what you truly deserve rather than what you can quickly grasp. The deeper truth is that timing is sacred. The universe knows when to bring certain people into your life, when to close doors, when to open new ones, when to test you, and when to reward you. Every delay, every detour, every pause has meaning. Sometimes the waiting season is not about what you are waiting for, but about who you are becoming during the wait. Patience transforms you in the in-between. It molds you into someone capable of receiving and sustaining the blessings you desire. Without patience, you might miss the lesson. With patience, you become aligned with the exact rhythm of life itself. So whenever you find yourself in a season of waiting, remind yourself that timing matters. You are not behind, you are not forgotten, and you are not late. You are exactly where you need to be, learning exactly what you need to learn, being prepared in ways you may not yet understand. Patience is not a punishment, it is preparation. It is the bridge between where you are and where you are meant to be. And when the right opportunity finally arrives, you will recognize it, you will be ready for it, and you will walk into it with the unshakable knowing that it came not too early, not too late, but right on time. Challenges prepare you for your destined path. Every obstacle you face, every struggle you endure, every storm you walk through is not a punishment, it is preparation. Life has a way of shaping you through the very experiences you wish you could avoid. The pain, the setbacks, the disappointments, the moments where you felt like giving up. All of these are tools in the universe's hands, carving, molding, and strengthening you for the destiny that awaits. It is easy to wish for a smooth journey, one without obstacles, but the truth is that smooth paths do not make strong travelers. It is the rough roads, the difficult climbs, the heavy burdens that prepare you for the greatness that lies ahead. Think about the strongest people you know. Rarely are they the ones who had an easy path. More often, they are the ones who endured storms, who carried scars, who stumbled and got back up again. Strength is not born in comfort, it is born in challenge. Every time you are pushed to your limits, you discover that your limits are not where you thought they were. Every time you survive what you thought might break you, you learn that you are far more resilient than you imagined. Challenges stretch you, they expand you, they awaken parts of you that would remain dormant if life was always easy. There is a reason why gold is refined in fire, why diamonds are formed under pressure, why muscles grow only when they are torn and rebuilt. Growth requires resistance. Transformation requires challenge. The universe does not give you difficulties to destroy you. It gives them to you so that you may rise, so that you may uncover your true strength, so that you may be prepared to hold the blessings you have been asking for. You say you want success, But success requires resilience. You say you want love, but love requires patience and depth. You say you want purpose, but purpose requires courage and endurance. Without challenge, you are unprepared for the very things you desire. It is in the seasons of challenge that you learn the most about yourself. You learn what you value, what you are willing to fight for, and what you are capable of overcoming. Challenges strip away illusions and force you to confront your deepest truths. They break down the false identities you may have clung to and reveal the strength of your authentic self. They demand growth. They demand courage. They demand that you rise to a higher version of yourself. And in that rising, you become aligned with your destiny. So many people see challenges as roadblocks, as reasons to quit. But challenges are not there to stop you. They are there to prepare you. When you hit a wall, it is not the universe telling you to turn back. It is the universe teaching you how to climb, how to build, how to find another way forward. Each obstacle strengthens your determination. Each setback builds your resilience. Each disappointment deepens your wisdom. Without these, your destiny would remain out of reach because you would not have the capacity to carry it. Challenges are not detours from your path. They are the path itself, designed to train you, to stretch you, and to prepare you for what is coming. Think of the stories of greatness throughout history. Behind every triumph is a struggle. Behind every victory is a battle. The heroes you admire are not defined by their successes alone, but by the obstacles they overcame to get there. Without those challenges, their victories would mean little. The same is true for you. Your destiny is not simply about arriving, it is about who you become on the way. And who you become is shaped in the fire of challenge. The irony is that many of the challenges you face today will later be the very reasons you succeed. The skills you are forced to develop in hardship, the patience, the persistence, the creativity, the grit will be the exact qualities that sustain you when your destiny unfolds. You may not see it now, but one day you will look back and realize that the very things you thought were breaking you were building you. The rejections made you resilient. The losses taught you gratitude. The delays strengthened your faith. The pain deepened your compassion. Without those, you would not have the depth, the strength, or the wisdom to fulfill your purpose. Challenges also humble you. They remind you that you are human, that you cannot control everything, that you must lean on faith, on persistence, and on the greater flow of life. They strip away pride and teach you empathy, because once you have walked through fire, you recognize the fire in others. You learn not only to endure, but to support, to uplift, to guide. Your challenges do not only prepare you for your path, they also prepare you to be a light for others on theirs. It is natural to resist challenges, to wish they would go away, to long for ease. But ease does not create destiny. If every door opened effortlessly, if every dream unfolded without effort, you would not grow. You would not expand, you would not discover the depth of your own power. Challenges force you to rise higher than your circumstances. They demand that you choose strength when weakness seems easier, that you choose faith when doubt feels louder, that you choose resilience when giving up seems tempting. In making those choices, you shape yourself into the person capable of walking the path of destiny. Even when challenges feel unbearable, remember that they are temporary seasons, not permanent states. No storm lasts forever. No night is endless. But what you carry out of those seasons, the wisdom, the strength, the resilience, those remain with you. They become part of who you are. And who you are is exactly what you need to step fully into your purpose. Challenges prepare you not just for what you will have in the future, but for who you must become in order to hold it. So do not despise your challenges. Do not curse them or run from them. Face them with the knowing that they are not punishments, but gifts of preparation. They are shaping you, refining you, preparing you. And one day, when you arrive at the place you were always meant to reach, you will recognize that you could never have gotten there without the weight you carried, without the storms you survived, without the battles you fought. The challenges that once made you question your path will reveal themselves as the very things that prepared you for it.